Wedding Talk with Mindy and Carol, your insider guide to trends, tips, and stress-free planning.
Hi, this is Carol.
And I'm Mindy, and welcome to Destination Wedding Talk with Mindy and Carol. Between Carol and myself, we do about 50 destination weddings a year, and we are so excited for our guest today. We have Wendy White with Sandals Beaches Resorts. So welcome, Wendy.
Thank you. I love being here and I appreciate being asked. Thank you.
You are so welcome. So, first of all, tell us what makes weddings at Sandals and Beaches so unique. I want to hear from your perspective because I know why it makes it so unique.
I know too, but yes.
Listen, I love that you girls have been supporting us all these years and been really, giving us the opportunity to share our product with your clients. But I will say, one of the things that makes me the proudest is the fact that we have a dedicated team. So when I say that, you have stateside support, you have call center support, and we have our weddings team. And when I talk about the team, I'm referring to the wedding entourage. So in fact, there are three different people that host teams. You have the wedding concierge team. These are the folks that are available Monday to Friday till 10 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday until 7 p.m. Their role is to answer the calls and help answer questions and give direction around what is the residency for a legal wedding in each island. What is the paperwork required for a legal ceremony in Jamaica? What else can I add to my ceremony? So any question whatsoever, that is the wedding concierge team available to assist. And then you shift. The concierge team will now lead you to have a personal wedding planner designed to help you build out your dream destination wedding. And at the same time, share with you very intimate details around venues and time of day for best lighting at specific resorts at select times of the year. So you have the concierge ready to answer the questions, ready to make the booking, transfers you over to the planner when the time permits for your schedule, that you have these planning sessions all the way through leading up to the actual wedding, at which point 2 weeks before, the file is transferred over to the resort wedding team, who are there to greet you upon your arrival and share with you all the firsthand exposure. Even though you've made all these decisions in advance, you may not have ever seen the property. That happens. Well, now we're going to show you where the venues that you've selected will be. And guess what? Since we only do one wedding at a time, you can make changes. So just know every step of the way, you're handheld through the entire process. So that's where we differentiate.
Yes, I think what I like that too is because you guys start immediately with the planning. It's not 6 months before, it's not 3 months before.
Oh, no. 3 weeks after.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's what separates you, I believe, and you don't charge an extra up cost for it. No. There's no extra, and I think that's probably the best part of it that I like about when you do a group or any kind of sandals wedding or beaches.
Absolutely. I'm glad you asked. That's an excellent way to start.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So with Sandals and Beaches weddings, I know a lot of people want to get married in that 5 o'clock time frame. Mm-hmm. And I know Sandals and Beaches calls that their twilight hour, and there is an additional charge for that. What is the charge for that?
Okay. So it is $600 for the twilight package, which includes the time slot of 5 p.m. in the fall and winter, 5:30 p.m. in the spring and summer, as well as the Unity Sand ceremony, where the couple, at the completion of their ceremony, has selected their choice of sand coloring and together are pouring into a vase that they are taking home with them. And that is, a memento of that experience. But it really is important to stress how, and everybody seems to want the twilight time slot. And since we only offer one wedding at a time, that time slot tends to go first. So what we request is 50% at the time of booking, and the balance, all payments, Balance is split between 120 days before arrival and 60 days. So you split that balance of 300 into 150 at 120 days and 150 at 60 days.
Yes. And I think also what sets you guys apart as well is offering the overwater chapels.
Oh,
Just,
yeah.
those are
Everybody
good.
wants
Those are
them.
great. They're absolutely beautiful.
For those that don't know, this is something that we were the very first at creating. And, just to give you a visual, it is a really authentic chapel built at the end of a pier. So you're literally walking down the pier before you enter the chapel. And this is a private venue for the bridal couple and their friends and family to gather. And they are located at Sandals Grand St. Lucian, Sandals Montego Bay, Sandals South Coast, Sandals Ochi, as well as Sandals St. Vincent. Our newest and our largest is at Sandals Royal Bohemian, and that seats 64, maximum 64. So you'll want to be well aware of how many people you're inviting before you lock that in. And it is $750 for the chapel. And just note, the big win is that you have a glass aisle floor. So you're literally walking on water, but it does really showcase the marine life below. So all the guests are indeed taking, the opportunity to take pictures. And we only use the chapel every other hour, 9 a.m., 11, 1, 3, and 5, so that our team can get in and clean. And when I say clean, we're basically Windexing the glass floors because everybody wants to have their picture taken laying on the back, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was at the Sandals Royal Bohemian a couple of months ago, and we were able to see the chapel and everything. And it really, really is stunning. And what I really liked about it is really all the way off to the right of the property. So it's very, very private. So you're not going to really have anybody over that area, except for your guests. And it's just the water all around was just absolutely stunning and beautiful. But let's talk about if they're doing a wedding over the weekend, because there is a fee for a wedding over the weekend. And what does that fee run?
Okay, so $250 is the surcharge for a Friday or a Saturday wedding. So understandably, your larger wedding groups will typically come in, Thursday through Sunday or Friday through Monday, and most people want a Friday or a Saturday. So in order to really manage the volume, we implemented June 1st of 23 that surcharge. I have to be very honest with you. I have not had one person push back on me because they understand. And those folks who are not traveling with an abundance of guests, they're happy to take, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, a different day. And so, that it comes down to what is most important to the bride and groom, the date, or are they looking to, be more mindful with their budgeting? That's up to them.
Yeah. Does Sandals offer any free weddings still?
Oh, yes. This is one of my favorite things because we've had it in place for a number of years. And it really does speak to a select audience. And the reason I say that is with a free wedding comes some certain parameters. And so the bride and groom must meet the two elements, which are having their wedding Monday to Thursday, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. So your off-peak window. Absolutely. And bride and groom are staying 7 nights in a club or butler category. And so that way we can, mindfully put that wedding and all of the inclusions free or complimentary. But it is a package that is maximum 10 people, including the bride and groom.
Okay, perfect. And with the weddings, obviously, if we have a group, you have two different types of ways of doing your group packages for the guests.
Yeah.
Let's touch upon those for a second, because I don't think people realize how affordable a Sandals and Beaches wedding can be for their guests.
That's an excellent question, because what's interesting to me is, a lot of folks, look, if you've never been married before, you don't know. And this is why it's so important to work with a travel advisor who does know and does this for a living, because there are so many components. So beginning with the wedding itself, because we created 5 packages. Each of the packages are designed for the number of people. And so you get inclusions based on the package chosen for the number of people. And then you have a price point. So let me give you an example. Our Bliss wedding package really does come with all the key elements that everybody wants, which starts with the welcome cocktail party, and then you have your ceremony and your reception, and you have a sit-down dinner with a 3-course meal and premium bar. So the welcome cocktail party a few days before the wedding, but the wedding itself does include all 3 events: ceremony, reception, sit-down dinner, all private locations. And we go from 20 people up to 50 people. Starting price is $2,500. So if you're doing, 11 to 20 people, $2,500, and you consider all the keys, components, and there are many others, but I only have so much time. Mindi and Carol can certainly walk you through everything that we give, but I wanted to highlight the key things. And just be mindful, if you have 50, so the cost is $3,850. Okay, that's not a problem. And even if you said to me, well, I have 55. Okay, if you want to stick with that package, then I have a per adult rate of $45. So we can do that. But if you have a larger group, you may be interested in having a lot more of the social gatherings. Now, this one does add in an additional 3-course dinner plated for the entire group a few days before the wedding. It's an opportunity to get together and socialize and connect. And then on the wedding day, now you have the opportunity to choose from our buffet menus, which make it a much more elaborate event. And of course, every private event that you're having includes premium bar with all the beverages, whether it's alcoholic or not, everything is there. So to be mindful, if you're choosing our epic wedding package, which starts really at 50, 60 people, you have the added inclusions, but your starting point is only $7,600.
Yeah.
To put things in perspective, I was planning my daughter's wedding a couple of years ago, and I will tell you, your average stateside wedding, just average for 50 people, $36,000.
Yes, easily. And that's probably like with bare minimum.
Yeah,
right. So just to go a step further, as I mentioned, different components. You've got wedding, now you have rooms.
Yeah.
Obviously, rooms are a separate price because the wedding, as you can see, is very affordable. You always have the opportunity you can add on entertainment, you can add on drones, whatever you wish, we can continue to evolve it. But let's look at the room component. I urge you to look at a group contract because of the promotional rates. There are some incredible, discounts allocated when you're doing a contract of 10 rooms or more. And of course, Mindi and Carol can explain how that works, but I just want to remind you, anywhere from 10 to 15% off per room, plus the added advantage of comp room credits. So based on time of year that you are traveling and number of rooms attached to your group, you would be receiving comp room credits. And the credit is a dollar amount based on the lowest room rate booked. So if you have a variety of rooms booked in the group, then you look for the least expensive option. That's the value of the credit. But again, there are 5 credits allocated from our fall winter season. That's September 1st through December 20th. So for 6 paid rooms, you get 1 comp credit. If you have 18 rooms, now you've got 3 credits. But when you look at Jan 2nd through August 31st, every 10th room is your credit and the number's unlimited. So I'm not capping you at 5. I'm saying go for it. Bring me more people. Okay.
Yeah, which is huge. Like I have a wedding actually tomorrow at Sandals Halcyon, and I think we had like 26, 27 people. And they received a comp room, which helps offset their room costs and the wedding costs.
Yeah. Yeah. And the nice thing is, look, the bride and groom can make that decision with you.
Yeah.
Having multiple conversations right up until final payment. Where would you like to allocate that comp? Would you like to apply it to your room? Would you like to spread it out amongst all the guests? Or if your room is paid in full, would you like to put it towards your wedding invoice? We can do that too. It's your choice.
That's what I like about with you guys as well. We don't have to wait to get those comps back after they travel.
Right.
It can allocate it towards their wedding. They don't have to pay for their wedding and then hope to get it back. I do like that.
That is nice. And I love the fact that because so many other contracts, if it's with the rooms, it has to stay with the rooms. They can't transfer the money over to the wedding invoice. And the couples don't understand, well, it's the same resort. Like, why not? I don't understand that. And that's one of the things I do love about Sandals because it's their money.
Yes.
And it's easier. Let's just apply it to that invoice and have it come off the bottom line.
I have a question. What about your vendor fees? We have that a lot come up in all of our information.
Very interesting. Okay, good question, Carol, because realistically, look, there are a couple of things I want to just sort of lay the groundwork. Number one, we're a privately owned company. We're a Caribbean company. We're sixth generation Jamaican owned and operated and always have been, entering our 45th year in business. We employ 98% of our people are Jamaican nationals. What does that mean? We are providing them with a livelihood. Therefore, on our property, we have all the services covered. And so I'm talking hair, makeup, photography, videography, decor, everything we are cultivating and building out. Now, I understand everybody has friends, family, personal relationships. Cool. Bring them with you. So as long as you have somebody in your mind that you want handling your photography, good. Bring them with you. Buy them a room, 3 nights stay or longer. Guess what? They're no longer an outside vendor because we don't allow it. Number two, they are enjoying all the festivities, but they're capturing every single component of the wedding celebration week. So whatever you're doing, I had photographer and videographer with me, and we did a catamaran cruise, and they came with me, and they were on that boat capturing all footage. That's the memories. So ultimately, a destination wedding isn't just about the wedding. It's 3 to 4 days with your closest friends and family having experiences. And what I love is that my only daughter says that was the best week of her life because she had so much fun spending it with everybody, and everything was taken care of. So, please let your clients know, bringing a vendor with them. Sure, if it's a hair and makeup artist, buy them a room, give them the comp room credit, but make sure they're there for you throughout the duration and they're no longer an outside vendor.
And I think that's huge because I'm dealing with a situation with a resort now, and their photographer is a personal friend. And they paid for their own room, and they're like, we want to gift this to the couple. Yeah. And the resort is saying, well, they're a vendor.
But they're staying as a guest.
But they're staying as a guest.
But they want to charge $1,000.
And they want to charge $1,000 for that vendor, even though they paid for their room. And that's one of the things that I like about Sandals is they are able to look at the big picture and realize it's not just about the day of the wedding. It's about the whole overall experience. Cool. And I think I encourage people to bring their own photographer and videographer, because you know what? Your style of pictures that you like can be completely different than I like. And at the end of the day, what you're left with is those memories for years to come. So you want to make sure your vision of what you want your photos to look like is going to live up to that expectation that you're going to have.
Yeah. I think that, that's another thing that sets you guys apart from everyone else. And, the biggest thing is, with Sandals it is all king beds. we always get this, can't they slide in a bed? Can't they slide in a rollaway? And we're always like, no, no.
No, listen, I know. I've been around forever. I know. And the brand and how it started is, evolving. Okay, so we built up the brand in 1981, and I say we because I joined in 89, and I feel like I grew up in this company. And ultimately, it was the first all-inclusive for couples only in Jamaica. And when I say all-inclusive, people didn't know what that meant back then.
No.
And so literally one of the benefits, of course, is stress-free, because when I check in, I put my wallet, my passport in the safe. I don't touch it until it's time to go. No tipping, no extras, just go.
Mhm.
So that makes it a completely stress-free experience. But to your point, look, we understand that the generations have evolved and what their expectations are. And, it's like, it's an inclusive for my audience, not just, for the resort. So yes, currently king size beds in every room, but we do see a lot of couples or friends traveling together and they don't mind sharing. Mind you, we do offer 20% of your group block can be single. So if they choose they want their own king size bed, fine, that's an option. Price would be 25% off the rack rate. Now, the other idea is to recommend beaches as an option if you should have a lot of single people who don't want to share. There are different bedding types at Beaches Resorts, our sister company. But what we're seeing now, and I want you guys just to think about this, Beaches is now building out 2, 3, and 4 bedroom villas. So you have a brand new property that opened up this week called Treasure Beach, and that has 101 suites that are 1, 2, 3, and 4 bedroom, meaning you can have the whole group together, and yet everybody has their own sleeping space, their own bed, and more privacy. So, when you divide up an accommodation like that amongst the group, and we have anywhere from 10 to 18 people in that villa accommodation, it becomes a much more affordable option. So just, that provides a solution during the meantime till we do, look towards growing into different bedding types. So it's in the future.
Yeah, I was just talking with Sheldon James last week about that same exact thing with the bedding and the villas and stuff, because he's down in the grill. So we were just kind of talking about that, how you can bring everybody together in one of these large villas. And yes, you look at that price point, you're like, oh my God, this is a lot of money. But when you divide it out per person,
exactly,
it's really not.
I toured those, was it last year or the year before when they first opened? They're absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
And they're, they sit there right there, right on the beach.
They are right on the beach, and you've got your own little private plunge pool and your butler service. And one of the components that cracks me up is this ginormous bottle of Sunbum sunscreen, 50 SPF, and it sits right in the living room where, before you head outside, give a little pump and make sure you're covered, because, these days everybody's paying attention to the skincare.
Well, and you know what I like about that too is so many people nowadays, they just want, especially if it's just a couple of nights, they want to travel with a carry-on and you're limited. And then it's like, okay, I have to check a bag now because the sunscreen is larger, but it's going to cost me $45 for the bottle at the resort. So it's a win-win there.
It is.
I gotta go to Sandals and Beaches and do a villa for the sunscreen alone.
Oh, trust me. I mean, it's funny because when you see the way that these villas were built out, they were so thoughtful in the way that they decorated, but also the inclusions that they brought forward. And people don't realize all the little elements that make the difference. It is really a luxurious experience, but it can be affordable, as you said, dividing the cost up. So,
and it's not just like anybody listening, to this. Maybe, you're going to decide a destination wedding is not for you, but you may be doing a bachelorette party.
Yeah.
Guys may be doing a bachelor party, or just down the road, you just may want to get away with the girls or something. These
Yes.
villas are a great option.
Yeah.
So keep
Yeah,
that
I
in
mean,
mind as well. The
even
villas have multiple use. They're
yeah.
not just for the
Oh, not
destination.
just for weddings, correct.
No, and even in Turks and Caicos, the last time I was there, we were in my assistant and I we take a little kind of a get together, down and go over everything. And we were in the two-bedroom in the Key West,
Okay,
with
love it.
the rooftop available.
I love that
I
Oh, I
stayed in
do
concept.
that
too. I mean, it
twice
was great
already.
for
Yeah,
us.
I
I mean,
like it.
we worked at the dining room table every morning, got our stuff done, everything in that, and then we'd sit up there and watch sunsets. So that's a really good gathering for girls as well. I mean,
Oh yeah.
what a great way to hang out together and watch the sunset up on the rooftop and
Right.
have cocktails. And then, so it's not just about weddings. I mean,
No,
that's what we
you're
do, but
tempting
I mean, we
me.
also do the other. So yeah.
No, social groups are very much on the upswing for that exact reason. People want to have that downtime, build those memories, share with people they've had in their life for a while. I had a friend call me, her daughter's 40th birthday party, beaches and a grill, the Eventide Villa, 10 women, 4 days. They all went down and they had the time of their life. So it's not just for families, right?
No,
Right.
and I think, the other thing that, I will say from doing all the years that I've done weddings at Sandals Beaches, there is, I would say, a 98% return rate that they will
You
go
you
back.
are you are so right. I love that you said that. Thank you, because everything for us is about the guest experience, right? You want them to have the time of their life, the memories. And that's why we have such a high returning guest factor, is because people come and have these experiences and build these memories, and we want you to return for every momentous occasion, whether it be a birthday, an anniversary, a family reunion, whatever the occasion. Please, we would love to host you. There are multiple properties to choose from, and different islands to explore.
So what about someone that just wants to renew their vows? Do you have
Mm.
a vow renewal program?
I'm glad you asked. I think this is very important to share with your clients, because those couples who wish to do a renewal of vows, I like to consider it a recommitment ceremony, because look, you have couples who've been married 5, 10, 20 years, whatever number. It doesn't have to be a magical number, but I do want to point out the importance of revisiting the relationship, because when you've been married to your partner and now life has shifted, meaning you're an empty nester, the kids have now left, they've begun their own life, and now
Yeah.
it's the two of you. The perfect opportunity to reconnect is with our Retie the Knot program. And it's only $400. It's not about the cost, it's about the experience.
Yes,
For
everything about the
me,
experience.
I've watched so many, and these are so emotional, because what the officiant does is speak with both parties separately and talk about the life they've had thus far. Where have you been? Where did you live? Children, work, life. Where did it take you? And now, what's the next chapter look like? So the ceremony takes on a unique feel just for these two people, and it is about them building to the next stage, the next chapter. And I wish that more people were aware of it, because it really does start the ball in the right direction for the next phase. And
Yeah.
by all means, bring friends and family, show them the importance of longevity, show
Yeah.
them what it takes to keep a marriage alive for all these years. It's not easy.
It's not easy. It's not easy.
I will say, the thing that I think also that sets you apart, we did my son's wedding at Sandals Negro.
Oh,
And the fun part about it is that when it was all done and over with, is everyone that was at the resort would come up 3 days later. Oh, I remembered you guys after the wedding. It was such great. I mean, and even the staff was like they remembered him by name.
yeah.
It just I think that felt that experience that we're not just here with 30 of our friends.
Yeah.
We've gained a whole new family.
I love hearing that. And it's interesting that you should say that because I do get the question. It's like, well, will other people be there? So we choose venues for you based on dialogue with the planner. And you're on a property where other guests are experiencing their vacation. Now, we do maintain the privacy element because we have our team in place, we have signage, and people are very respectful. Ultimately, what do other guests like myself want? Well, I just want to look. I just want to see the bride. I just want to say, oh,
Professional wedding stalker,
Yeah. Yeah. You just want to see what
cool.
they have,
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, and I think that where it came in is not so much, they had the private reception, everything else, but it was like afterwards they chose not to do a DJ and dance floor or whatever because there was some older people with them and they wanted to go back to the room and things like that. So they just continued down to where the live entertainment was, which was a karaoke night. They all joined in and they invited everybody in, and everybody in the bar joined in, and it was just like a large wedding party.
It just keeps continuing.
Yeah. And that's what's so much
that.
fun about these destination weddings. It's just not a one-day thing. It's a whole
No,
over several
yeah,
days and everything.
I'll protest to that because my one son did a regular wedding at home. My other son did a destination wedding. And I've always said, as a parent, I enjoyed the destination wedding so much more because I got to spend 7 days with my two grown-up children that I don't very often for 24 hours a day anymore.
Yeah.
And I also got to enjoy my mother and everybody else in the family and the kids that they grew up with and ran around with that I haven't seen for years.
Yeah.
So I got to enjoy the whole time rather than 3 hours of run around, run this, and really not get to speak to anybody. So to me, sure, not everybody can afford to come, and that has to be up to the bride and groom to make that decision that they're okay with that. And it's all about what you're okay with.
I'm so glad that you had the personal experience because when it happens to you, you recognize, all of the key important moments and the stress-free experience and the beauty of being able to just put your feet up and relax, enjoy it, spend the quality time. It does really resonate when it's coming from you firsthand.
Yeah, that's the one thing I will say. And just everything is seamless. I mean, and that's all part of it. Between Mindy and I, we do a lot of destination weddings at other properties as well. And I know personally they're in good hands, that I'm not going to have the bride calling me in frantic mode when she arrives. I know the guests are not going to. There's just a difference. I mean, there's just a difference.
I think it comes down to the manpower. You've got to have the people in place. These are people that are employed by Sandals and Beaches Resorts. They are not, somebody coming in for the wedding and that's it. There's no relationship. These are people who are invested in the clients and ensuring they have a great time because ultimately, what's our goal? Bring them on back. Let them visit another one of our properties. We want to keep our guests satisfied so that they come back year over year because that's how we've built up the business.
Yeah. And
Exactly.
Sandals has some other programs, and you can reach out to Carol and I, and we can go into them in more detail. But if you're planning on getting engaged, there's a package where you can set up for the surprise proposal. There's also the baby moon packages available. Pickleball groups, golf groups. So there's lots that Sandals and Beaches has to offer, and Carol and I would love to talk to you more about that. But I know Wendy's time is valuable, and I just had a couple quick personal questions for Wendy about Sandals and Beaches. So and I know every single resort of Sandals and Beaches takes on its own vibe and feel, and that's another reason why you should definitely get with a travel advisor like myself or Carol, so we can help you navigate which resort will be the right resort for your group. But Wendy, if you were able to go to any of the Sandals and Beaches resorts today, which one are you going to?
I have to say Curaçao. I've been there 3 times this year for work events, and I've fallen madly in love with it. And it's not just the resort; it's the island. I'm somebody, I don't sit still. Like you're never going to find me parked on a beach for hours. That's not me.
Yeah.
I need to get out and explore. And that's a destination that allows me to do that. The town itself, Williamstead, is 40 minutes and it's an easy cab ride, or you could rent a car. Driving on that island is actually very easy.
Or get a
it's
butler suite that you get the Mini Cooper for the day.
Ooh, yes, indeed. Thanks for the reminder. Two top tier butler categories give you your own Mini Cooper. Drive the
way to go, crew around. Yeah, I actually, I went and ran, and we actually did the cruise out to the island. That kind of bored me though. But I mean, it wasn't for me. I'm more active than that, so that kind of bored me. But that was through Island Routes for an excursion. But yeah, I did like Curaçao. The only one I haven't been to is St. Vincent. That's on my list.
Haven't?
No, it's the only one I've not been to. I've been to all.
Put that on your list.
Yeah.
Put that top of your list.
I know that's next year. That's next year. That's next year. Yeah.
Good.
And
or
what
at the end of this year.
Restaurant at the property. I know there's some new restaurants that have been opening, but what's your favorite?
I have to say Boucan, which is only available at Sandals St. Vincent, and they just opened one at Regency La Toc in St. Lucia. And why? Because what it does is it takes on the actual island in which it's located, all of the food and herbs and spices grown locally and infused in all of the dishes that are native to that destination. And so I really get that culinary experience, but it's actually fun because it's family style dining. And what I mean by that is you will find larger tables where different groups of people will be sitting and getting to know each other. And, don't be shy. Listen, we're all staying at the same property. You just made a bunch of new friends. And
exactly. We talk to everybody.
Sharing the platters and enjoying the experience and being explained to you as to what this is and what you should mix with. And so it was a real educational culinary experience like I've never had. So that's my answer to that one.
And I'll put that on my list.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go try that. So
I know, yeah.
I know, in the Bahamas, we're gonna have a new beaches. Any updates as to when that may be opening?
I can share with you a few details. So formerly Sandals Emerald Bay, which was my favorite. Now, I say that because the water is the color of Windex. The beach is white powder. It's pristine. It's the most unique destination in the world. And we shuttered it to convert it to Beaches Exuma. And so that property, I'm going to guess late 27, because, opening a brand new resort one a year is probably all we can handle. So Beaches Treasure Beach just opened on Sunday. So I anticipate this one, 180 suites, family style suites, boutique style property. So not enormous, more of a smaller scale, but you've got a lot of land. You've got the golf course, as you remember, right? And you've also got the entire lot beside Sandals Emerald Bay that was purchased for the sole purpose of creating a water park and a kids camp. So it will be expansive as far as land, but 180 suites. Yeah. And I'm sure they'll add more restaurants, but last time I was there, it was like 12 restaurants already. So you'll have a lot of brand new experiences. Everything that we do, we elevate the bar. So each and every time a new resort opens, the bar is raised, new and enhancements like you've never seen. So I can hardly wait.
I'm excited for that one. I am, because we need something more in the Bahamas. I'm excited.
Yeah.
And we need more beaches, because especially for the destination weddings. That have some kids.
South Asian
it is big.
Yeah, South Asian
to have that availability for them.
So 3 more beaches coming. We've got, after that one, Beaches Barbados, Beaches St. Vincent, and Beaches Runaway Bay in Jamaica. So you've got the product coming, but like I said, probably one per year. So over the course of the next 4 years, you're going to see new inventory, different destinations, and something that's very exciting.
Yeah, it is exciting. So anything else you want to leave with us today, Wendy, that we didn't talk about in regards to Sandals and Beaches?
So my very favorite program, and this is for all married couples, our free anniversary night.
Oh, yes.
Okay, whether you've stayed with us in the past or never before, book 7 nights with Mindi or Carol in a club or butler category. Travel within 30 days of your physical anniversary date. So therefore I need proof, which means you're uploading a copy of your marriage certificate, and we will comp you 1 night. So you're paying for 6, you're staying for 7.
Awesome.
Yes, and then tag on your vow
Retie?
tie the knot and your commitment ceremony, and wow, you have a magical vacation.
Exactly.
So,
Okay, well, we'd like to thank you for joining us today, Wendy. We will hopefully get some people to get some questions out to us. And as always, we will, answer any questions you have. And Mindy, go ahead and finish up for us today.
sure. So thank you everybody for tuning in today to Wedding Talk with Mindi and Carol. You can visit us on our website, www.destinationweddingtalk.com. Send us an email at destinationweddingtalk@gmail.com. Let us know any questions you may have. If you have your destination wedding that you're planning and would like more information, Carol and I are available to assist you. And you can also find us on TikTok and Facebook. And we thank you for joining us today, and stay tuned. We will be back next week.
Yeah, I'm not sure what we're going to talk about next week. We'll just surprise you
We'll
all.
figure it out.
Yeah. All right. So goodbye for now.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more wedding inspiration and tips. Visit us at destinationweddingtalk.com for resources and updates. And as always, send us your questions to Mindi and Carol. We love hearing from you. Join us again next week for the latest episode of Wedding Talk with Mindi and Carol. Until then, happy planning.